Greetings, I am Herbert Erpaderp, and the time is upon us for another What's in the Box mystery. There could be anything in this box, but I'm going to take a stab in the dark and guess that it's going to be a 72nd scale model of the Morser Karl Gerat. I'm probably saying that wrong, but anyone that expects great pronunciation in a Herbert Erpaderp video is a bit silly. Okay, so obviously this is a Hobby Boss kit, and the box is looking a bit faded. I believe this is a 2007 release, so it's not really as old as the fading might suggest. I believe it experienced a little bit of sun before I bought it.
Enough waffling! What's in the damn box?
What's in the box indeed? In what I'm sure is a very big surprise, we find plastic sprues. There are several of these in a light grey plastic colour, and they seem to be quite nice and neat. I will admit that I haven't gone over these with a fine-toothed comb. You don't normally comb sprues anyway, but from what I can see, everything is moulded well and there are no obvious defects or errors. There may be inaccuracies in detail, but I'm not an expert, so I couldn't tell you if those are present or not. Inaccuracies in detail don't really count as moulding errors, and nor do mould lines, which are, of course, present, but there's nothing too severe. I can see a little bit of flash at the opening of one of the gun barrels, but nothing that can't be dealt with quite easily. There does seem to be a fairly high number of fiddly bits and pieces in this kit, and that's not really surprising. I can imagine the real thing would have all kinds of bits and bobs everywhere to make it work that aren't concealed by a hull or a turret. Obviously I haven't built this yet, so I've got no idea how difficult these small bits will make the build, but it's certain to be at least a little bit more tricky than, say, a simple wargaming kit. I, again, can't tell you how accurate any of these details are, but I feel like once it's built, it's going to be fairly well detailed. For a German vehicle, there doesn't seem to be a lot of wheels. I mean, there are still plenty of wheels and sprockets, but I don't imagine myself spending 6 years putting the running gear together like I have with some of the other kits I've built recently. These wheels do look really decent. There's a brand new handcrafted Herbert Erpaderp joke for you. Ha ha ha. Very original. I don't really have a lot to say about these parts. I mean, I could make something up, but I couldn't exactly tell you what most of these things are. You can see the details with your own eyes anyway, I assume. There's some decent bolt and rivet detail here, and they seem pronounced enough that they'll catch paint nicely, and you can do some interesting weathering with that, but they're not over the top or anything like that. These parts seem to be gun related. The gigantic gun mounting is pretty obvious. You can see some of that good rivet or bolt detail. I don't actually know which it is, but I do know that there's a lot of good detail here, and it looks nice and crisp. The kit does give you the choice between two guns. I don't know the history of these vehicles, big surprise there, so I don't know when or if they were modified or just built in different versions, but I do like that you get the choice here. Which one will I build? I have no idea. I'll choose when I start building, I guess. These side frame things, I guess you would call them, look rather good. They also give me the hope that it's going to be fairly simple to get the suspension all lined up nice and neat. This seems like it will hold it all nice and neatly in place. Will that be the case? Guess you'll have to watch the build stream to find out. We also get these. What are they? Who knows? Part of the Karl-Gerät, that's what they are.
Ah yes, very helpful, Herbert.
I think it's probably safe to say that this is the hull. It's a nice bathtub-style hull, which makes it much easier to get things all lined up nice and straight than if you had to glue the sides on and such. Very nice. And here we have the tracks. These are, as you can see, the dreaded rubber band tracks. They come with a pretty annoying bend in them, but I guess that's the only way they would fit in the box. They don't look too bad, and I'm sure they're actually fine. I'm just personally not a fan of rubber band tracks. I would much prefer some link and length. Decals, as seen here, are good if you want to apply markings to your model, and I have a sneaking suspicion that most people who buy this kit would probably want to do that. Good thing they come with the kit. They are a bit hard to see because they're white on a light blue background, but they look to be pretty decent. And here are the instructions. I do appreciate that these are a stapled together booklet. I just find that much more manageable on the workbench. As always, I can't know if there's any problems with them until I start trying to use them, that's just how it works, but they seem to be pretty clear and well laid out. It doesn't seem to me like there's too much going on in any one step, so hopefully there shouldn't be too much confusion, and with fewer items per step, there's much less chance to miss parts. Not that I, Herbert Erpaderp, would ever miss a part. No, not me. That's for other people. Anyway, this kit also comes with a basic painting and marking guide, and would you believe it, grey is the colour they recommend. Really though, you can paint it any colour you want. I, as always, am considering hot pink. Anyway, that's what's in the box. I think this is going to be a good fun build, and I'm not anticipating any real problems. It doesn't look like it's going to be too difficult, though there are obviously some small and fiddly parts. That's okay though, the small fiddly parts are quite often where we get the nice detail from. Also, there's no photo etch, and believe it or not, that makes me happy. I think I've had enough photo etch related irritation for the time being. I think the Karl-Gerät is an interesting topic for a model, and if you've been around my channel for a while, you'll know that appeals to me quite a lot. So I'm excited to start building it. I don't know exactly when I'll start building it, but it will be relatively soon. As usual, I will be building this live on stream, and if you'd like to observe me putting this together live, there's a link to my Twitch channel in the description below, and there's a schedule there, so if you're particularly interested in seeing this kit built, keep an eye on that. I think it's going to be a fun time, but there is always the chance of seeing Herbert Erpaderp get confused by bits of plastic, which might amuse you as well, so drop by for that. Eventually there'll be a build video here on YouTube, but you'll have to wait a while for that. That might be enough waffling from me. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the comments section below. Be sure to subscribe here on YouTube for more What's in the Box mysteries, and build videos and other things, and if you'd like to see my videos a bit early before there's any ads, consider becoming a patron. You can find links to Patreon, and all of my other things like Discord and social media, in the description below. Take care of yourselves, be excellent to each other, and thanks for watching. Farewell.